The year is 1896 and a brutal storm is tearing across the North Atlantic. Waves crash violently against the rocky cliffs of the Flannan Isles, a cluster of barren, desolate rocks about 18 miles off the northwestern tip of Scotland. But through the driving rain and howling wind, there is one constant, a steady beam of light piercing the darkness. High atop the cliffs, the keeper of the Eilean Mòr Lighthouse, or Isle of the Mòr, tends to his lamp, ensuring its flame will continue to guide ships safely past the treacherous rocks. Over the next 4 years, the lamp burns steadily until December, when suddenly the light goes out. No reports come of shipwrecks or distress, and so it's assumed the lighthouse must have broken. But 10 days later, a passing ship notes the light is still dark and alerts authorities, who dispatch the relief ship Hesperus to investigate. As it approaches the island, however, the sailors notice the Scottish Southern Railway flag, which indicates the ship hasn't yet arrived. Surely, the lighthouse couldn't have been dark for so long. But as they draw closer, they hear a terrifying silence, the rhythmic crashing of waves against rock, the ceaseless cry of gulls wheeling overhead. But from the lighthouse, blessedly silent, the captain fires a flare, then sounds the ship's horn, a hollow echo answering him. From the shore, nobody comes to answer the hail. Nobody comes to answer the hail. The captain leaves word that he'll return at dawn to check for survivors and rows ashore. In the morning, the captain and 4 volunteers begin searching. They discover the gate to the top of the lighthouse is closed, but unlocked. Stepping inside, the silence is deafening. They find the lighthouse abandoned, and the reason for that silence, a terrifying mystery. So begins one of the strangest tales in maritime history, the unsolved disappearance of the keepers of Eilean Mòr. This is a place where even the wind seems afraid to tread. Wild, windswept rock that barely scrapes above the waves of the Atlantic Ocean. Here, on the edge of the world, nature rules supreme, untamed and unrelenting. And the human struggle to tame this primal wilderness is a testament to our enduring spirit. For here, on this isolated spit of land, a lighthouse stands defiantly against the fury of the sea, a beacon of hope in a tempest of despair. Here on the Flannan Isles there are 6 main islands: Eilean Mòr, Inishgor, and Inisgalan, and the smaller Stacks, Stack and Arona Stack, McShee, and Stack have been remnants of a volcanic past, and a reminder of the raw power that shaped this rugged landscape. The largest of these islands is Eilean Mòr, also known as the Isle of the Mòr, a name that speaks of the vastness and grandeur of its natural beauty. Its Gaelic roots, meaning Great Island. In the heart of this island lies a treasure of history, the Eilean Mòr Lighthouse, a towering sentinel guarding the treacherous shores against the wrath of the sea. Built in 1845, it was one of the last great lighthouses built during the Victorian era, its powerful beam slicing through the dense sea fog that often shrouded these waters, a lifeline for sailors navigating the perilous seas. But for those charged with tending this beacon, life was a lonely vigil. Remote, cut off from the rest of the world, they kept watch over the endless expanse of the ocean, forever vigilant, forever alone. Then there are the seals basking on the rocky shores and dancing in the icy waves, a playful yet enigmatic presence that has thrived here for centuries. These islands are truly a sanctuary for wildlife. Imagine puffins with their colorful beaks waddling across the grassy cliffs, or the haunting cry of the Arctic skua echoing across the windswept moors. The air is alive with the cries of seabirds, a chorus of squawks and shrieks that blend with the ceaseless roar of the Atlantic. But it's the people, the keepers of these lonely towers, who truly breathe life into this narrative. Men like James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald McArthur, men of fortitude and resilience who braved the solitude and the fury of the elements to serve their duty. It's their story that becomes a haunting melody carried by the winds across the desolate cliffs. On December 15th, 1900, the Northern Lighthouse Board received a report of concern from the master of the steamship Art. He claimed the Eilean Mòr Lighthouse was dark, its light extinguished. A heavy fog blanketed the North Atlantic that evening, shrouding the usually reliable Arcturus in an eerie stillness. As visibility dropped to mere yards, Captain W.D. Smith steered his ship with caution, relying on the faint flicker of lights to guide him through the dense fog. But when he looked toward the Flannan Isles, he saw no reassuring glow from the Eilean Mòr light, its absence a gaping hole in the navigational tapestry that could spell disaster for any mariner. He waited patiently, hoping the darkness was a temporary visitor. But as the hours crept by, the fear of the light remaining dark grew. The Archduke's logbook recorded the ominous detail, "No light in Eilean Mòr," a stark statement that marked the beginning of a mystery that would baffle the ages. The Archduchy sailed on, leaving behind a heavy mantle of suspense. Back on the mainland, news of the missing light reached the Northern Lighthouse Board, setting off a flurry of activity. After assessing weather reports and consulting maps, the board decided to send the relief ship, Disappearance, to investigate. But fate seemed determined to shroud the island in an impenetrable cloak of secrecy, for the journey was fraught with challenges. Storms threatened to derail the mission, and doubts lingered about the wisdom of venturing into such tumultuous seas. Yet duty called in the Hesperus pushed on, battling the wrath of the elements for the chance to unravel the enigma of the dark light. As the Hesperus approached the island, a sense of foreboding settled over the crew. The raging seas and howling winds were a testament to the raw power of nature that held sway over this desolate stretch of coastline. As they neared the shore, a sudden hush fell over the ship, amplifying the eerie silence that emanated from the island. Even the relentless sea seemed to hold its breath in anticipation. As the crew began their investigation, they discovered that the lighthouse door was locked. The regular routine was thrown into disarray. Relief supplies were due, and the fate of the previous crew hung in the balance. What had transpired here? Were the keepers well? Had the light simply failed? Or was there some more sinister tale waiting to unfold? As they waited, their imaginations ran wild, conjuring images of the lighthouse swallowed by the sea, or the keepers lost to the turbulent waves. Finally, the decision was made to break the lock and enter the lighthouse. The silence within was unnerving. No voices, no sounds of life echoed in the vast emptiness. It was as though the lighthouse had become a tomb, a mausoleum of secrets. The floor was covered in a fine layer of dust, suggesting the keepers had been gone for some time. The untouched relief stores were a stark reminder of the abrupt departure, a snapshot frozen in time. As they ventured deeper into the structure, more clues presented themselves. The clock had stopped, its hands frozen at 11:45. Books lay open, as if their readers had suddenly vanished, and in the kitchen, a solitary chair was overturned as if someone had abruptly risen from their seat. The keepers' bedrooms were neat and tidy, hinting at their meticulous nature, but also offering no answers to their disappearance. Then they noticed something disturbing. A third oilskin hanging jacket was missing from the rack. This detail pricked at their curiosity, weaving a thread of mystery into the already tangled fabric of the case. In the days that followed, a thorough examination revealed nothing amiss. No signs of struggle, no indication of foul play, no evidence to explain their vanishing act. It was as if the keepers had stepped out of the lighthouse and into thin air. The logbook provided a partial account, but it, too, had its gaps. The final entry, dated December 13th, contained nothing out of the ordinary, simply noting the completion of repairs and the ongoing battle against the elements. The following entries were blank, a void where details of their final days should have been. This island, with its desolate beauty and haunting past, became a stage for one of the most perplexing mysteries of the sea. Relief ships arrived, but found no answers. Investigations ensued, but turned up no clues, and the keepers, James Ducat, Thomas Marshall, and Donald McArthur, became enigmatic shadows, forever etched in the annals of maritime history. Their story, a haunting ballad carried by the wind across the lonely cliffs of the Flannan Isles. So why aren't you? Let me know down in the comments below what you think really happened to these lighthouse keepers. Was it a storm, a ghost, or maybe something else entirely? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe for more historical tales. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the past. Thanks for watching.